that the protest of 3 weeks is ongoing, and if it has not gone down, it is still continuing, and Mr. Irfan Sultani, a young 26-year-old, is now scheduled to be executed. Of course, Amnesty International has highlighted his case, warning of concerns regarding that he may not be the only one, and Iran is also known as the world's most prolific executioner after China. Of course, these are the words of The Guardian, of course, a media outlet from the United States. I want to understand from you the role of media in such a trying time, how the information must be dispensed towards the international community.
We all are dependent on the media, different types, electronic and print and all those, because we cannot know anything other than media. But media misleads people in most of the cases, especially during any war, any misunderstanding. The first victim is truth. So media deals with anything other than the truth. They have their own bias, they have their own siding with people and all those things. So we cannot depend. The problem is the Iran's declaration and an avowed policy of Iran is to destroy Israel. That is the great plank that the Western countries and others, neutrals, also get, that it is not possible to absolutely destroy the country called Israel. And that is one thing that is hurting people's sentiment other than the special Iran supporters. So that is going to be one great thing. And this execution thing that you talked about, the Iranians say that they are not just revolution, they are not just agitators, they are the spies. They caught and they execute. But this is also not a very modern way of executing. No trial, nothing, and killing someone or chopping off his head are not a good thing to do. So this makes Iran especially unpopular in the world. So that is one problem. But the problem is the truth about the casualties is not really known. Perhaps those who print it also do not know it, or those who broadcast it also do not know it. But still, it depends on who you support. And the entire Western media, and even some of the neutral countries, and even some of the Arab countries, Israel is supposed to be their enemies, they are also against Iran.
Namely, one of them is Saudi Arabia.
Many of them. So very few. Only Houthis in Yemen and there's proxy
Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Yeah, that's it. There's very few people. And when the strike comes, perhaps they might be also responding. But I'm afraid if the strike comes, which now seems imminent, even Israel and all those, they may make simultaneous strikes on these proxies, and Iran, maybe USA aircraft carriers and all those, and they have their, perhaps at the beginning they may not use nuclear war, but that may come in this war. Maybe limited tactical nuclear attacks, will not be the conflagration worldwide. That will not be there at the beginning, but probably it's coming.
I want to have a very small question before we can proceed to a commercial break towards you. Sir, there's adverse reactions between other nations who are doing trade and business with Iran, namely Russia and China. More on that later. But do you think that there is scope for Russia and China to intervene if there is an attack by Israel or America?
With my little knowledge of the warfare in the world and this Cold War and everything, I have observed, and perhaps it's not a new thing to me, many of the people who watch this observe, that when one superpower steps in a place very wrongly, even if it is very wrongly, the others will condemn it from before and will try from afar and will take other necessary steps. But when one of them steps in with its destructive power, others do not come here. So it's most likely that if USA strikes Iran with, of course, Israel, most probably China and USA, China and Russia or any other power will not physically come on the side of Iran and fight USA. That is not there. Though they will be condemning and taking advantage of other things. So that is why it's going to be Israel and USA and Iran versus Iran. So this is a very unequal fight if it happens. I only pray it doesn't take place, but perhaps these prayers will never reach Donald Trump's hearts.
I really hope it does, and a good sense prevails between the leaders of the United States of America